Hello, Alan.
You have 30 seconds.
That's plenty of time to grab the agenda or anything else.
Somebody guessed right on the number of chairs.
Okay, I'd like to call this meeting to order at 6:00. And let's stand up for the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll proceed to roll call. Truax.
Here.
Jelinski. Cranmer.
Here.
Clark. Brower.
Here.
And Nelson.
Present.
O'Connor. Here. Okay. Is there any public comment? Okay, no public comment. Close at 6:01. Approval to the agenda. I would like to make a motion to add under new business resignation of the vice chair and appoints new vice chair.
I'll support.
I'll second.
Motion passed. Am I good here? Am I good here with it?
Yeah.
Are you done with it? Okay. I should have started by, it's not easy to be here, actually. It was in my mind so much that I even call him. He left too soon, and I know that it meant a lot for him to be here, so I'm sure we'll all be doing a good job, and we'll be in our thought.
That's a bummer. Yeah, and thanks for saying something about it.
Yeah.
I feel that way. And
Yeah, it's pretty heavy to be sitting in this chair right now.
so for those of you in the audience, our chairperson passed away unexpectedly about 2 weeks ago. So with that, that's why we have on the agenda appoint a new chairperson. So, and this is our first meeting since.
Right.
Yep.
Okay, approval of minutes of September 15.
I'll motion.
I'll second.
Okay, so I'm sorry because I'm the secretary too, so I'm taking notes at the same time.
Kramer made the motion and Charles.
Yes. So motion passed.
Good thing the secretary is resigning.
Jen, don't make me cry.
So we just need like a all in favor.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Okay, motion
All
passed.
opposed.
No, okay, no opposed. Motion passed. Any conflicts of interest in this meeting?
Is the conflict of interest issue?
Well, it's just in case that we were going to discuss a case, let's say you are presenting something here to the commission.
Board members have a conflict.
Yes.
Some decision.
Right.
Yes.
Or anyone in the audience. Just, you feeling a little guilty, Alan?
So it's just always in the agenda, just in case. Yeah. Okay. So let's go with the unfinished business. Sarah?
Or ongoing business.
Ongoing would be
Yes.
better.
Ongoing for a while still.
You're not finished yet? What?
Yes, sir, we've been waiting.
So I think you all have the progress memo for this month. I'll run through that first. Remember where we're at. Some of the things that kind of wrapped up the last month. I believe on email you all got the link for the kind of the latest draft of the report that had. I'd say it's probably like 75%-ish done about now. So a lot of this test to information was now in there. One of the things I would like to still do is get some more photos and put in the report. So that's still left on there as in progress. The public engagement is complete now. I did after the open house that we had on the 22nd, I did forward you the summary of the public engagement. So you have that, had that section, and that was completed. The only thing left to do is that with that is, I believe I've sent the full survey results in the Excel spreadsheet. But I will be putting that in the appendix. So that's really the only thing left to do with that. So that's a final report step. Phase 3 or task 3 is just a draft report. And that is what I have sent you with the link. What is left to do is some analysis and some of the chapters, and then the goals and objectives, which I brought to talk about tonight. And then future land use plan and zoning plan with the action items at the end. That'll be the last part to wrap up.
And you said you sent us a link to this?
Yeah.
So it was in the email that I sent out.
I wasn't able to open that. I was wondering about that.
It's a Google Drive. There was like some attachments, the agenda, the minutes, and then there was a link. It didn't work for you?
Well, it's probably operator error.
I think it's
I
like
don't like doing that.
64
I didn't have my
pages
phone
long,
with
so.
I'll try it again.
You should just be able to click on it and it should open up as a PDF.
It didn't work that way, but my computer is kind of set up different. Let me do some work on it. Let me see if I can do it.
If you can't get it, what I can do is break it into sections and I can email you
Okay.
in sections. So we can do that if you can't get it.
You can also try to, if the link doesn't work, to copy and then paste.
And then, yep, that's what I'm gonna try. Anyway, I should be able to open them up.
Is there a procedure and or time that you would like suggestions?
No, what I'm doing is trying to give it to you by month as much as I can get done so that you are up to speed at the same time as me. You can certainly give me comments as soon as you see them, or you can wait. Some people will wait until the release of the draft plan. You can give me comments then because we have the 63 days of review time. So you can certainly give your comments at that time too. So it's really just your schedules. I would appreciate the comments as soon as possible, but I know that
Okay.
not everybody can do that. So
Answers my question.
yeah. But certainly if you have them, I will take them and that would be awesome. Let's see. So really this next month, I would like to go over the draft goals and strategies kind of worksheet that I put together for you guys, and I will be finalizing that and then doing a draft of the action plan. I'll further really go through the public comments And then be formulating the action plan chapter, and then looking at the future land use plan, and I'll bring that to the next meeting, which will be on that. So, well, I'll do a review with you guys at the next meeting. It'll be based on the future land use map that you have now. A lot of times there's not a lot of changes unless there's some significant development or happening that has happened in the last few years. I don't really foresee there being a lot of changes on the future land use map, but we can certainly look at it. We'll look at it with feedback that we got, but that's what we'll do at the next meeting. And then once you guys are comfortable with that, we'll put it in the draft plan, which would be released with the shifted schedule. You would release the draft plan at your December meeting. I did do an updated schedule, but I do apologize. I forgot to shift the fours, number 4s back to December and January. So everything else in the new dates are correct in the project schedule text. So upcoming would be one more review meeting in November with you all. Then I will finalize the draft and take as many comments as you can give me by the December meeting. The December meeting, you would recommend the draft to be released to the township board. Then at the township board's meeting in January, they would release the draft plan to the public, and that starts the 63-day review. Which then put it to the April 20th. You can schedule the public hearing for the April 20th meeting. You could actually schedule it ahead of that if you wanted to do it faster, because the 63 days is actually like the second week of April. But it's up to you. If you're not in a rush, you can just do it at your next meeting. If you want to hold a special meeting, you can. And then after that public hearing, assuming there's no major things to change, then you would recommend it to the township board for the May 11th township board meeting. So that's kind of how the schedule's working out. There are no questions to that. I can go over the goals and strategies. You guys all have
Yeah, I got
this one, right? Yes, that one. Well, I don't know how familiar you guys are with the rules and the existing. I did go back through those and review them. There was some relevant and vital, relevant and I guess things that still pertain. So I did pull some things out of your current master plan. And then also a lot of this came from public survey and the types of feedback exercises we had at the 2 public meetings, along with comments that we had received throughout. So I organized these into 8 goals. I would love to just have your feedback on them. Do you think it's appropriate for what you're trying to do? So organize successfully. So first of all, an overall township, these are things that kind of had to do with a little bit of everything. So the fiscal responsibility part, capital improvement planning concerns, roads and transportation concerns, and then put other on all of these just for you guys to think about if there's anything we missed, if there's anything that we should focus on that we haven't. So goal number 1 is about transparency and communication. There's a lot of comments, a lot of concerns about that type of stuff. So that is what goal number 1 is. Beneath these, I listed strategic strategies. These all make sense based on, again, the feedback and the comments that we got back and going through the old stuff. And if you guys see additional ones, this is not a complete list. There'll probably be 8 or 10. And I imagine you guys will have.
not having seen
Yeah,
the
very nice start.
feedback, which. How, I was curious about the potential strategy of encourage alternative modes of transportation. Was that?
And goal number 2.
Yeah,
Yeah, there was actually a lot of comments about bikes and people concerned about safety riding bikes on the road. I know that's also just a general concern in the county overall, because I just finished up the park and rec plan for the county. There's a lot of comments about that as well. So it's a concern.
yeah, we had a young lady that was killed a year and a half ago. Of course, it happened at like 1:30 or 2 in the morning. She was riding her bike and got hit.
Yeah. So there are some action steps that may be appropriate to look at over the next 5 years or so. So I think when you're doing transportation planning, it's always important. Alternative transportation planning in there as well. So that was goal number 2, had to do with road system and things related to that. Goal number 3 was about land use and development. This has to do with housing, commercial areas. The conservation and preservation, that was probably the bulk of the comments throughout a lot of this was we want to conserve what we have, we want to keep our forests, we want to protect the trees, protect the water. So I definitely thought that deserved a goal and dedicated strategies.
We get a mic on this.
Number 5 had to do with housing. I'm sorry, number
4 and 5.
Number 4 had to do with housing, I'm sorry.
You had
And
number 5.
Started duplicating. We had 6 and then 6. So 6, 7, and 8 go to 7, 8, and 9.
Yes, sorry about that. So number 4 and 5 have to do with housing, and then number 6 has to do with business and commercial development. And that's associated strategies.
You're gonna play big on that one.
This is on the
Make that big star right there.
Under potential strategies, at the top of page 3, provide curious, just want to understand, provide methods to assure the gradual renewal and rejuvenation of deteriorating residential structures.
Yeah, and that, actually, you know, your current master plan, I put that in there for your comments. I would love to see what you think about this, because I think it probably has to do with the Bendon area.
Where did you just read that one?
Top of page 3, it's the first bullet under potential strategies.
Yes, I believe it probably had to do with areas like Bendon or houses that are kind of dilapidated. Are there programs, are there things that the township can provide
Well,
to help?
that was exactly my question. You know, what methods are available to us as a township to do that? If any?
There are state grants and state programs that the township can support. That would support homeowners, support redevelopment projects. So there's, I can't think of them off the top of my head right now, but
The grants and donations are basically what drive that. I mean, when you have a group of people who go to a neighbor and, you know, it's with a dilapidated building and doesn't really have the resources or the ability to upgrade it, and the township goes to the state and they get the funds for it. And then someone gets a group of people together, some volunteers, and they go in there and they help that out. And they do that part.
that could be one of them, and you would write the action goal that the township should support.
Yes.
Don't,
Someone who just doesn't have the ability to fix it up or to comply, if you will, you know, with that particular zoning ordinance.
Just a general comment. from me, being a neophyte to grants, as you go through all of this in any of the areas, if there are grant or funding opportunities, beyond taxes, throw them on the table.
Yeah. Yes, I totally try to do that. At the end of, as I write in the implementation section, I will usually include a section of like where to go from here. And list, there's these grants from Mishta, there's these grants from Ego, there's these grants from, don't have as many options being a township, whether you're a village or a city, but they're still out there.
Okay, gotta be
So,
something there.
Yeah,
Because one of my questions, just reading this, provide methods to assure, from the MTA training that I've been to in years past, we can do just about anything that the township board votes to do, but we can't, we're gonna give you, extra funds to do this, but not you guys. It has to be equal and, to the public good. I mean, townships can't even, you're retiring, we can throw you a party, but everybody's got to dig into their own wallet to do it. It's just the use of funds. But if there's grant money out there,
yeah,
it changes
exactly.
lots of things.
Some of it also like could be like partnering with the county. County does brownfield programs, and they have a oh, I can't think of the name of it. They have a program where they buy dilapidated houses and they have some partnerships going with the village of Benzonia right now. So they do things too, so just being aware of these things. Number 7, we got down to zoning and regulations. These are kind of, those are some things that come up, there's the noise, the shooting range, and some dirt. Comments. This is a place to catch those and write that stuff in the action plan. There were comments about buffers, wanting better buffers on businesses on 31. And so this is where we can include some of those action items. Again, if you guys have other things that, as you look through the public comments that on this or you can get in here. And then the last 2, 7 and 8 have to do with public lands and their township facilities. Rule number 7 has to do more with all facilities, the strategies that have to do with buildings, cemeteries, trails.
Actually, on the last page, on 8 and 9. I did have a question, and I apologize in advance to everyone. I tend to read everything very literally, but maintain support, quality fire, emergency service, and police department. We don't have a police department.
Could be our local sheriff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would fall under support, and there may be some action. I meant to take that out. We may leave it in there. It will depend on some of the action items. May have just supporting the county sheriffs, or
They could like stop and use our township for.
yeah, there might be some
Got
things
it.
like that.
Here last night.
Yeah, so it doesn't. It would be the support items for the police, I guess. No, that's a good question. And then the last one has to do more strictly with recreation uses. There was a lot of varied feedback in the recreation section of all the comments. So that potential strategy would just be to continue to gauge public feedback to know how to best maintain your parks. That's probably going to be what some of the action items come out of that. And then, again, consider you guys don't have a dedicated park and recreation plan. That if you do, if you end up deciding that it makes sense to create one, that puts you you're on the track to get DNR grants then, which are pretty easy to get if you have a park and recreation plan, so.
Good
Might be
reason to have
something.
one.
It might be something to consider in the future. It is a lot to maintain once you do a park and recreation, because you have to update it every 5 years. So it becomes this thing that you have to do. But you are eligible for a lot of grant opportunities through the DNR. Anything from simple projects to you can get up to $250,000 if you have matching money. So anyway, I give these to you. So again, go through, and if you see anything I missed, I am gonna still be adding to these. This was a draft. I'm gonna keep going through the public comment. There will probably be at least 2 project strategies for each of these 9 goals, and then the action items for more specific things. And there'll probably be, again, at least 1, but some may have 4 or 5. So that's what I will be developing on this next month. So any feedback you have will help me put that together.
Very thorough.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sarah.
Okay, well, let's move to new business. Appoints the commission chair. So I make a motion to appoint Jim Brower as the new chair. Do I have a second?
I support.
So what do we do now? Oh,
Discussion.
any discussion?
Thank you.
Okay.
Willing to do it, and when Ben asked me to fill the empty seat, he wasn't quite aware of the procedure which we're going through now, and I appreciate the support. I stepped down as trustee earlier this year because of my daughter's health issues. Fortunately, she's getting much better. Still not where we want her to be, but it was a joint decision on both of our parts that I'd have the time to do this. So I will dedicate the time that's necessary to absolutely see the master plan through, and capital improvement plan, and maybe some other things that come out of this. So, thank you.
All in favor?
All in favor?
All opposed?
Favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No all opposed.
You opposed? Okay. So that,
Well, thank you.
then you add to the agenda, so as my resignation. So for personal reason, I need to go abroad for a few months or maybe longer, so I won't be able to be part of this great commission. Really enjoy being part of.
Is there anything we can do to help support things here?
No, it should be fine. Thank you.
If you think of something, let us know.
Thank you. So, we'll need to appoint a vice chair, and I would like to make a motion to appoint John Kramer, vice chair.
I'll support.
Any discussion?
So I had actually looked at John as being a candidate for the chair role, and take a look at his career and whatnot. He started out in 1980 as a carpenter and has worked his way through designing for precision custom homes and whatnot. So I think his role moving into vice chair is just a natural ascension.
I'll do the best I can.
As I understand it, vice chair also comes along with the role of being secretary.
So it doesn't have to be,
There'll be room for improvement there.
I was just kidding.
Yeah, Anastasia's right. It doesn't.
it doesn't have to be, actually, it's
No,
something that we need to address too.
There are only two positions under the statute that need to be filled, and that's chair and secretary.
Why don't I just fill in for you while you're gone?
Okay,
Well,
Right? How about we do that?
there's
And,
also two secretaries. There's the secretary of the commission, but there's also a recording secretary, two different roles, technically.
but
You did them both.
it's doable.
No, I would be even willing to do that. You
Okay,
know, I mean, just whatever we need to do here. I'm on board for whatever. Jim asked me to come be a part of this and, I agreed to do it, so I'm all in.
and you could use a recording device and so you can replay. I don't, but so you can replay if you don't. If you're afraid at the beginning to miss some information.
What now?
You mean like a recording device so you can play it again?
Oh,
At
I'm not
home?
gonna
Just
record
really need to take
anything.
notes.
No.
Well-
It's being recorded.
I know, but most of the time the sound doesn't work. Okay, so do I have to change this motion into vice president and secretary? Or do I just leave it like that?
Make it vice chair and secretary,
So,
because the secretary is actually a required position. You're stepping out of.
okay, so make a motion that John Crimer is appointed as vice chair and secretary.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. So it's my last meeting. Sitting in the big chair. Next item. Okay, we're gonna review the current blight ordinance. Thank you, Ted, for digging into that.
Yeah, so, and I'm probably gonna turn it over to our zoning administrator. I probably will turn it over to Mike. As you saw in the email that went out earlier, township's attorney has suggested the planning commission look at the present blight ordinance, as it's not as enforceable as it could be or should be, really. So I think that's what's in front of us tonight. Having said that, our zoning administrator has real world experience with both trying to enforce it and working with and through the attorneys.
So this is our current ordinance, correct?
Yes, the one that says
And
ordinance
this,
0912 blight elimination.
and then the draft is a suggestion to change it to?
Suggestion.
Okay.
Yep, and there's two drafts. One, they're very similar. One has a lot of bullet points. The other one's more condensed into
Are they
paragraphs.
both in here?
And those are suggestions, I'll be very frank with you. You know, I ran through AI and got some help from AI in looking at present ordinance 0912, the shortfalls of it, and then making sure that any future ordinance is based in Michigan law and is enforceable, especially enforceable for whoever we assign as the township's enforcement officer.
And so our lawyer would be okay to review this stuff, correct?
I would, as suggested in the email, I think our next step would be, it goes to the township's attorney to review before we would take it to the.
He's gonna have some real specific things to add to all of this. We're definitely gonna need his input. For
So
sure.
if you wanna take over, Mike.
Can I ask a procedural question before we go into all this? Are we making a decision on this tonight?
I don't believe so. I think everybody's just looking over.
Okay,
I just know what, so I put a call out to our attorney probably about 3 weeks ago now, because we were gonna move forward with a blight complaint and go to court. And when I had her read through our ordinance, she said that what we wanted to do wasn't really enforceable. And we would need to probably change some of our language if we wanted to move forward and be successful.
Got it. Yep. That's usually the case when you
So-
deal with this stuff.
One of these is not bad. I read through it and maybe worth having her like this.
which one do you prefer?
This,
This one, the non-draft.
yeah, just after reading through their points and how they come for sections for penalties and emergency payment, different things like that. Just gives you, it seemed to give you a lot more language and a lot more rights.
Which one are you looking at there?
So it's ordinance, this one.
Oh, it's this one. Is this
That's the original.
Oh, okay. This is oh, yeah.
Thanks, Sarah.
all right.
Oh, I thought you were headed home.
You need to leave me your bag.
Okay, yeah, this was all
You should
signed.
look at it, because I was gonna send some of this to her as well.
All right. So this is the one. This is the.
There's, I know in talking to Reese about this a couple of weeks ago, in discussion with the attorney, let me back up. Around February of this year, I was talking to a guy that does blight enforcement down just southwest of Kalamazoo, retired sheriff. I mean, and he still packs to go do blight enforcement. Currently a rough neighborhood. But one of his comments was, and I can't remember the exact amounts, but you know, they used to have, you know, first warning, first fine, $100. And I think the state you can go up to $500 or something like that.
Right, and that is worded in here under section 6 penalties.
But he said, don't goof around with warnings, you know, just, you're in violation, here's a $500 fine. He says that gets their attention.
Yeah, so in here, this one's laid out pretty decently, where they are giving a little bit of time, but then it goes right to start writing penalties and violations, and we'd be backed up by court. And if we said I don't think we've ever been there as a township yet that I could find. Obviously not, because we would have never been able to proceed with the language that we currently have.
I know the one blight issue that was on Maple City Highway, just south of Oakley.
Oh, yeah,
It actually,
on Bowers Road.
yeah,
The
yeah,
Fewens,
yeah.
Right, so the county did that.
Well, Linda Wilson, she almost single-handedly did that and got the guys that were in lockup to do the lifting of all the weird barrels full of weed.
I know that Benzie Recycling people helped out with that. The Zeister, I think her name was, if I remember right.
Sounds right.
Yeah, she was, she helped out with that project too. So Benzie put in some money, I think, to make that happen.
That's the only blight issue that's been alleviated in the last 18 years that I'm aware of.
The way we're written right now, it would be like we would purchase the property to get rid of the blight.
Wow. Ouch.
And so we may not even be able to do that.
Do we get to set the price?
Yeah, that'd be a lot of money.
Yeah, I have a feeling there's gonna be a lot more of this in the future.
Is this the version that, let me ask, who came up with this version? The attorney, you did?
I provided both of them.
Okay, oh, great.
Neither one of them has gone through attorney review. I think what we want to do is discuss as planning commission, certainly Mike's expertise.
Mine's
David is
just.
This is one.
So should we, should we put a number on those and then decide like which one we want to choose to send to the attorney or?
I think the other one, Mike, that where our original blight ordinance fell short is it didn't give us, or it didn't spell out the ability to remediate it and then put a lien on the property in the text. Whereas most current blight ordinances do, and this one does in section 4, number 3. I think that's where you get a lot of muscle.
I think so too. This one, I just like the wording in it.
Easier to read is always better. Did you, Mike, did you download this or get these to download this?
Yeah.
It's a basically step-by-step thing, and it's a checklist. I mean, I think we're at step 1, and technically we need an amendment to initiate all this. And then we schedule a public hearing. It's somewhere in here. I think the step of going to the attorney is a good one, so that we're not dealing with language that is not going to work.
Correct, and get us in trouble.
But you can have this copy that's available on the website,
Okay.
MTA website.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I was just gonna say, the village of Benzonia has been dealing with this a lot.
I'm sorry, Sarah?
The village of Benzonia has been dealing with this a lot of late, and we just went through this, tried to apply lien on property. And found out that you cannot do it unless you get a judgment. You have to take them to court. And you can't do it without an attorney. So it does cost.
I was gonna bring that up. I mean, that's really not much of a punishment.
Yeah, it's not,
You know, unless you're gonna try to pull a building permit or sell your property, it's really a non-factor. You just leave it sit there, and it just sits there forever and nothing really happens. I mean, the punishment needs to be something that would encourage them to comply.
So
That's where it's all, and we don't want to enforce it. We want them to comply.
right.
And so there would need to be something that would, I think anyway, that would encourage that part where, well, hey, look, if I clean it up, you know, this happens, or something to that effect, something along those lines versus honestly, a worthless punishment that doesn't get anything done, and the blight stays. And it doesn't.
You want to make sure it says it's a civil infraction. You could have a monetary value put as a fine. Well, what you ought to really do is you want them to make the ordinance whole or follow the law. And then if they don't, then the township has the ability to then go in and abate the problem, clean the problem up, and those added expenses could be put onto their lien or onto their property tax.
Correct, right. That would be, I see that being a plus. I mean, the hit on property tax.
That's a lot more obligation for the homeowner to put out if he doesn't take care of it.
If he doesn't take care of it, absolutely. I think that's a better way to go than the lien thing. And then we don't have so many, I don't think we have as many legal issues moving forward on something like that either. Of course, that's a question for our lawyer, but
Right.
I think he's gonna agree with us on that.
Yeah, and that's the teeth our present blight ordinance doesn't have.
Correct.
Well, and having said all that, you know, getting them to comply is the best route. But setting the township up so that the board can take action, take legal action if necessary. And, you know, that in and of itself is going to become very public. So, you know, geez, if he didn't clean up his yard and he got sued for it, he's going to cross about it. I better clean up my yard, you know.
And I think giving everybody fair warning
Yeah.
is obviously a good idea too.
Yeah.
Let them know that things have been changed. So that may get people just to clean up, just tell them that.
Here are the things that could happen if you don't comply.
So how would you start? Just start with sending a letter and
Yeah, I think that's fine. Maybe even too, I think it's okay to give people time to address their problems, as long as it doesn't go on forever.
Sure.
The one we currently be working on, in my opinion, is going on way too long. We're addressing that problem now, so.
You could have a draft that is also maybe reviewed by the lawyer, like explaining the
Sure.
changes and the new consequences and saying that this is news and amendment to
We would
the.
definitely ask their opinion, make sure the language is correct, what we have on
And
there.
you've got your template and.
It'd be much easier for everyone.
Mm-hmm. And then the calendar, like you have this many days and like a plan. So there's gonna be like step 2, what to do if we have no answer, what to do if the situation haven't been dealt with.
That's, this one here explains the procedures, it's pretty good. I like that one.
Mhm.
I'd say we have to stick just with this one, but I like some of that stuff.
But this is the one that you like though, right, Mike?
Right.
Correct, that's what I found. It's most informative and not, some of it was written pretty harshly on one of the other ones. This one here seems like it'd be really good.
Cool.
So,
Well, can we have consensus on the board then that, Mike, would you be okay to take this to the attorney and ask for her review?
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Well, do we want to put our input in before we do that, or do you want to go in cold and?
Yeah, I mean, if you have an edit or an addition.
Well, I don't have it right now.
Certainly, wait a minute.
Can we bring this up at the next meeting and possibly at that point might have some suggestions for it?
So then, I think maybe we'll just have consensus that let's review it, put it on the agenda for next meeting under unfinished business. And we'll circle back and
Give us a chance to read through it and then put our 2 cents on there, and then that we can draft up and take to the lawyer. And then of course Mike can review with us as well too, and to make sure that that's right on the right track. Cool.
so even if we do that, you don't want to make a motion that Mike will be handling this and bring it to the lawyer when it's ready, or you want to do it?
I'm good with that. Yeah, I'll motion.
I'll second.
Do you want to?
You made the motion.
yeah, I think we need
Just 2 people.
we need to say what the motion is.
Yes.
I move.
Yes.
I move that, Mike, you want to take both drafts or just the draft that you?
Whatever draft we feel is appropriate.
Whatever draft, the commission settles on with any potential changes.
Yeah, let's just do one.
Just do one.
Yeah.
One with some changes, and I think we
Go
should
from there.
start with the one that he likes.
Yep.
Hold on, because he's finishing his motion.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. And you now have the steps from the MTA. The first one, gotta pull it up to that page. What does the first one say?
So we take our planning commission. Section with, yeah. What do you want on this?
Line 1 or step 1.
Step 1, schedule public hearing.
No, affidavit. The affidavit is
Oh, right
the word
there.
that I was looking for.
So was lawyer the last word of your motion?
These are you have.
I don't know, I have something a bit funky. I move, Mike, whatever draft the commission to send to the lawyer. You want to reformulate that?
I move that Mike takes
I move that Mike takes
a final draft
final draft
of the blight ordinance to be reviewed by the township attorney. I think that qualifies as an affidavit then.
Do we have
That's
a,
the first step.
do we have a second? Any discussion?
I think we had it.
All in favor?
Yeah.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so we've got this motion. Should we, maybe put like a number or letter on those two, so, oh, because you want to,
Like A and
you
B.
all, yes, maybe A and B. Okay. So we know what we're talking about, like maybe there's
Yeah.
some ideas in B and A.
So why don't we put A on Mike's recommendation?
Okay,
And C on the second one.
Basically, we'll be. You have this in editable format?
That's the ag ordinance right now.
This one.
No. See, it's got the ordinance number. This is what's in effect right now.
What did you mark as B?
That's just that one there. Yeah, that's another draft.
All right.
Yeah, the one with the number is actually what's in effect right now. That's pretty vague. So, yeah. Should be. Yeah, we can't use it to enforce it.
so everybody can review those two drafts and, can discuss at the next meeting before, before Mike takes over and go talk to the lawyer. Okay. So is there time for the second public comment? Is there any public comment? Ooh, I like this
Hi,
thing right
everybody.
in the middle.
I'm Valerie Handy. I live just down the road.
Hi, Valerie.
Forest Trail.
Hello.
Just wanted to introduce myself and say thank you very much for being here and volunteering your time to do the good work of the township and the planning commission. Having things like master plans and, blight ordinances and those kinds of things are going to continue having Inland Township be a great place to live in the future. So thank you for your efforts and it's nice to meet y'all.
Well,
Thanks, Val.
Thank you. So Val, what, you interested in being a member?
Oh, yeah, there's an open spot.
So did you want money for not complaining?
So that was also a portion of why I wanted to attend tonight, was to see how your board functions and operates, and I would love to be able to be considered. My husband and I will, I'm sure, chat about this over dinner and decide if there's a space in our calendar, my calendar, to be able to volunteer and join this. You guys are doing some
Great.
great
I
work.
hope you come down.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if you're interested,
you.
you have to come back next month.
Thanks.
Thank you.
It might be worth asking what the formal process is for filling the seat that is now vacant.
Formal process is that as a planning commission, we interview and make a decision on the person that we want to have join us. Then we carry it to the township board. Think of the township board as the boss of the township, because they are. I guess that's a good reason to think of them that way. But they make the final decision of voting whoever sits on this commission. Within this commission, we vote who's going to be in what office. Technically, that's supposed to happen every year. I don't know that it has in the past.
In January, it does.
But the board usually follow the recommendation of the
Oh, yeah.
planning commission. If the planning commission thinks that, it's a good fit and it's a good idea, And the board meeting being a week prior, the planning commission, like, let's say that Valerie was interested in joining the planning commission next month.
Well,
What will be the process for her if we wanted to?
would the remaining members be willing to have a special meeting to interview potential candidates?
Yeah, we can.
Sure.
I was thinking next week, there's a 2-day MTA conference seminar, whatever you call it, for planning commission. So I would think not next week, in 2 weeks. Does that
Do you
work?
think that you need more time to think about it, or would you like us to schedule?
I think I could make a decision as to whether or not to apply. Is there an open process? I mean, do you have to post it that there's a vacancy somewhere?
I don't think so, right? Jim?
No,
No.
the board chair appoints to the planning commission with the board's approval.
But last time, didn't we just approve the new member during the meeting?
Me? Yeah.
You too,
What now?
John? Did we approve you during a meeting, right?
Yes.
So do we really need to have a special meeting on that?
I was approved for 3 years, Jim
But
said.
it's not, it was not on the agenda, right? And now we are. Well, we still have item 11, I don't know.
That was only done here. I didn't go in front of the other board.
Oh, yeah, but we did.
Oh, you guys did? Okay. I don't know about it.
Supervisor brought your name forward. I seem to remember he was here in the audience that night.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay. I do
And then at
remember.
the next meeting, supervisor who appoints people to the chair, board approval, brought your name forward.
So during the board meeting, there is a discussion, or, the planning commission, all the committees, and the chair has a time to discuss what's going on during the meeting and if there is any approval needed.
Okay.
So it was done back then.
Val, would you like to speak to your husband before committing?
I think I would like to, yeah.
Okay.
Just given our current state of affairs and where things are at. My only hesitation would be what time commitment is necessary, but it seems like this is a pretty straightforward board with just one monthly meeting. So,
It happened that sometimes it's 2, but it's very rare.
okay.
Like you can see meetings are usually about an hour long. There's a little bit of reading beforehand, but it's,
We are going through master plan right now, so I don't know if one a month is necessary.
sometimes it's 2.
Sometimes it's 2, but after we get done with master plan, we have 2 big things to tackle. One is the capital improvement plan, which not necessarily a lot of meeting time, but a lot of time. We can appoint not subcommittees, what am I looking for? Advisory committees to help us with the finance stuff. We'll also be taking a look at as out of date as anything is all of our ordinances, not just the blight ordinance that we're looking at, but our ordinances were adopted from Elmira in 09, I think, and not complete. I mean, they make reference to sections that don't exist. It's like, so there is going to be a fair amount of reading, and I would suggest maybe more than one if we want to wrap ordinances in with the master plan. There may be more than one meeting a month. The last time, not that it's going to run the same way, the last master plan, which technically was 6 years ago, they had for 3 or 4 weeks, weekly meetings to go over the ordinances. And I don't want to do them the same way, because sat through like 2-3 hour meetings where somebody said, the comma goes here, and this should be and, not or. And it's like, we don't need that. We need to take it in bigger chunks and more efficiently. But I do think there's gonna be a lot of work from that. Once we get past that, the other thing that the board does, besides just talking about all this fun stuff, and I need to get with you to find out where things fall. I have an issue, take it to the planning commission, planning and zoning commission. I want a variance on this or that and the other thing. And Mike might say, well, let's take that to the board, have five people try to figure it out rather than putting it all on his shoulders. And that's unpredictable. And sometimes, this goes back a couple of years ago, I need an answer in 2 weeks, but we just had a meeting. Our next meeting is in a month. Special meeting, and those usually don't take forever, half hour, boom, boom, done. So.
Any other public comment? Okay, okay. So any other items to come before the commission? I do have something.
The first bombshell you dropped wasn't enough?
No, but when I started the meeting, I was, talking about Jim, and I was just thinking that he was pretty animated about this project with the county regarding the mapping.
Yes.
And I would love to, ask this commission if the chair, if he's thinking about looking into it. And
Certainly look into it.
it was this project, this mapping over there.
Yeah, sounded like the county was gonna.
Mike, did you want to fill him in? Was you remember the project that
The
Clark
GIS.
was?
Oh, yeah, so the one that,
Do you mind explaining a little bit
I haven't been to the meeting yet.
about just like big lines? Just in general, the
Well,
idea of it?
it's kind of like the system we're using right now. It's an overlay of the watersheds, different things. It's gonna be a graph that goes over the whole entire county, from what I understand. Ben just shared that with me here a little bit ago from.
Yeah, and it's something that the township will not have to pay.
Right.
And it's just wondering if, the commission want to still look into it, so it's not.
Like many county things, do they need our approval to do it?
I was sitting on this committee, which I'm on the Water Smart Land Use Committee. That's through the Conservation District is spearheading this. And the idea is some of the zoning mishaps that have happened in the county recently with environmental things is to have one resource that anybody can come click on any parcel in the county and bring up. This has wetlands, this has stream buffers, this has, you have to go to Eagle for this permit. So any parcel you click on, you'll have, anybody can have all the information. So that's the idea behind it. And
So what do we do? Should we make that available on our website then for people?
it would be a link that anybody, a mapping tool, and the county is approved paying for it, so.
Saw that to the commissioners.
So what action is needed from this commission or the township board?
It would just be, they sent out emails recently just asking for letters of support, so it would just be letters of support when needed.
There's gonna be some classes in November that are out there.
Can you forward information to me so
Sure.
where a letter of support should be sent?
Yeah, I don't know if they need anything right now because they just got the county to approve it, so the next steps.
I'll send you the letter that Ben sent to me.
Yeah,
So you can see it.
Great, thank you.
We use something similar to that right now.
Yeah.
This will have more information on it, so I don't know that we'll, I'll have to find out, I'll have more questions to ask if going to switch over from currently using this new system.
Mhm.
It's not, like, not all the counties around us are on this, on a particular system that we use.
Right.
Sometimes that would be helpful if they were. There's a little crossover
Mhm.
information. And I know right now you can, through the county, you can look at wells and septics, but we can't see that on the particular one we're using. And it would be really nice if we had all those things available.
Absolutely. But we're not to build another Dollar General.
That's what I think she was referring to. Wetlands.
Okay, well, thank you. Meeting adjourned, 7:05.
I think we need a motion.
Oh, make a motion to adjourn the planning commission meeting.
And I'll support.
And I will say thank you for your time on this commission.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You set a difficult and high bar for the minutes.
Yes, indeed.
All right, yeah. Yeah, what do I owe you for the flowers?
Whatever you want to give.
Sure.
It was like 80 and change, so whatever participation is, whatever. Yeah, it was very nice. Thank you very much.
I know, 30.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
45 minutes,
Thank you.
and you've already got stuff assigned to you as chair.
She's set a high bar.
Sorry, well,
She
you
set a
know,
high bar for me too.
I saw it on the minutes and then I was like, this is gonna die and.
Well, no, that was a good call, actually. I think, Jim, that was a good call. Make sure that that carries forward.
Did John already disappear?
Who? Yeah,
John?
he ran out.
Ah.
He